Alrighty then, it's time for another, well, actually, no, it hasn't been, it's been a while for us since the Maokai game's been up, which I won. And this is one of those placement hell games. Though, what you do is not exactly mean that all placement matches are hellish for me. Sometimes they can be hellish for my opponents. Like, look at this very first level 1 fight. I already did upload it by itself, but as you know, it's pretty fucking messed up. I had no idea what the hell happened, and God help me if I wanted to try to commentate this. It's like everyone had different ideas as to what we should have been doing, and even on the enemy team, they were probably confused. It's like, do we go in? Do we just back off? Just look at this. There's flashes burned, there's ignites burned, there's one death, there's two, well, there's one death right there, then the second death soonly follows, and then I get shot down, and that's like, then Caitlyn gets grabbed, and then she gets whipped. And then in comes Yasuo, not able to kill Diana, but then Caitlyn goes in trying to get a second kill, and then she gets killed. So it's like 3 kills for us, and 1 kill for them, and 9 flashes for everybody, so I'm the only one with the flash left. And I'm a Maokai. You know what the problem there is. So, it's made even worse by the fact that I have movement speed quints and movement speed masteries. 21 in utility, 4 in offense, and 5 in defense. With that said, I can cover so much distance, and I have a bunch of wards, so I know where Diana's going to be. I ambush, along with Yasuo, Diana at her blue, and since she's got no flash, she's a fucking goner. I take her blue from her, we CC lock her, and murder her. Well, she's dead. So, yeah, Zed came in trying to help, and I kind of actually screwed this up. I should have waited until he tried porting out with his, shadow and then grabbed them. But maybe Pantheon would have dealt too much damage to me anyways. Zed goes back top to protect his lane, obviously. And I show up, and this is not the cleanest gank out there. I mean, I almost died. I survived with a sliver of health, and Shyvana dies. So that was just terrible. But it effectively at least keeps Zed from getting farm or anything. He's going to lose a lot of that. So, why pick Maokai at all? I picked Maokai because they had Pantheon, Diana, and Zed. And I figured one of them was going to be the jungler. Regardless of that fact, all of them as laners will fucking get destroyed by Maokai. As you saw there is no escaping Maokai's W. It makes it even worse that Diana and Pantheon, if they were the laners, they have no escapes. Like, I would just press W, grab them, and then my teammate would hopefully follow up, and we'd kill them. So I chose Maokai to be a really fast roaming tree that kills everybody. Because we have enough of those in real life. Nonetheless, it was a good pick. It was an intelligent pick, too. When it comes to team fights, Maokai doesn't do as much as he used to. Because everybody just gets out of his goddamn circle, and his circle is kind of hard to use and isn't flashy or tells you any information. But still, I do like him versus AD teams. Caster teams and all that stuff. Here, look, another Pantheon gank. He just kind of using the line of sight against him. It blocked his view. He gets killed. Diana jumps in and just kind of gets whipped by my red bark of doom, and then I just CC lock her. She tries to escape, I snare at her with my W, and she gets close to killing Yasuo by a flash on top of her and use the Q to knock her ass around. So, protecting Yasuo, though I think you would have survived regardless. And with that, I'm able to steal her blue again. As you can see, Maokai is one of the champions I would call a sort of globetrotter. You roam the earth, this character. You walk around the entire map trying to control it in any ways you can. Your ganks are strong just by using a simple W. A W and Q, and they're pretty much stuck in a position for about 2 seconds, and hopefully your teammates can, make it a kill for you. Think of it as a weaker, slower Malphite ultimate that's spammable. It's a good spell. It's a very good combo. The follow-up damage is kind of tricky to use if you can't land your E or your ultimate on top of them in time. Yeah, but still, it doesn't matter. Nonetheless, I go down bottom, see if I can get myself a gank. Nothing happens. Nothing happens, so I just throw my saplings to scout the place and everything. Here, though, it's actually a screw-up with the replay. I didn't pay much attention. Pantheon's going to die. And I'm going to rewind it so you're going to get to see how he dies. This is probably what makes Maokai so strong against team comps like this. He punishes any champions that have all-in mechanisms, like Riven, Pantheon, Zed, and Diana. Pantheon is trying to kill Yasuo, so it puts him in a terrible position, and I'm able just to walk up to him, press W, and pin him down, and he just gets killed once again. These all-in champions just can't deal with Maokai, and the fact that I build on pure movement speed allows me to cover the map and just get in position before they finish my teammates off. This is a bad situation though. I'm out of mana. My teammates got jumped by Pantheon alongside with me, and we died. So it essentially brings back bottom lane into the game. They also got themselves a dragon, so that's a bad thing. With that in mind, once again, I'm roaming towards mid to help Yasuo get even more fed. Pantheon gets CC locked by Yasuo. He tries to run away, but of course there's no running away from the fastest creature in the world, the Apex Hunter, a tree. So Pantheon dies yet again. It's just a snowball frenzy right now with my team. Maokai was like the most boner-inducing pick I could have made. Of course, here it doesn't stop us from dying like bitches once again for the same reason. We get initiated on, and all those assassins just kind of jump us. My team cannot win in individual fights, that's for sure. The enemy team has too much damage for that. We would have to stick close to each other, and Thresh would have to work as a peeler, and I would have to work as an initiator and whatever. Here again, this is one of my favorite things to do with Maokai. It's just he demoralizes people. His spammable Q is just stupid against a lot of champions, and I love it. Think of it this way. A lot of people ask, well, why do you max out Q first, not your E? Because your E does more damage. Your Q does more reliable damage, and is more spammable with more ranks. Reliable damage is far better than superior damage. Oh yeah, this is just a terrible initiation. I got way too greedy here, and I tried using the lantern, but I got stopped, so CC locked and killed. But anyways, as I was saying, it's better to do 200 damage every attack than maybe doing 400 damage every 3 attacks. Something like that. I'm trying to find a way to say it. Either way, we kill ourselves a Diana, then I go right after Caitlyn. But of course, I don't have the damage to kill her. Plus, she has a goddamn barrier, and then Zed shows up and tries to be a bitch. Where is he? Zed shows up, goes all in. Thresh grabs him with his Q. I snare him for a longer time, and he gets finished off. Nonetheless, one of Maokai's greatest strengths is just his W makes him invulnerable, if some of you didn't know. If Vi's ultimate makes you impervious to crowd control and that kind of stuff. Maokai just makes him untargetable. In some ways, it can backfire on him because you can flash out and drag him to his death, and he doesn't have strong follow-up aside from using his Q. So if you don't use your Q properly or you get interrupted somehow, then the CC wears off and you kind of get kited and can't do anything. But why am I bringing all this up? Maokai does a cool thing. By the way, that's kind of funny, drive-by shooting. Anyways, Maokai does a cool thing. If I initiate on somebody, like let's say Diana, CC lock her, and I abandon her, I can't do a lot of damage, so I just let my teammates finish her off. I can just beeline straight for the next target and then use W again, and nobody can stop me. Either if they want to stop me, they have to do it before I've already tried to snare somebody. Look here, I snared Pantheon, I beat him up a little, and then my teammate's going to finish him off. I spot Diana, go right after her, and I dash with my W. She's got no escape from this. I will get her. Unless her teammates try to help her, she's going to die. After she dies, I ignore everybody else and beeline straight for Caitlyn. And look, W, boom. I still grab her. I dodged Leona's sunburst thing or whatever it's called. Because, I guess she didn't time it properly. And my Q was able to follow up appropriately. And with that, essentially the enemy champion gets CC locked and pinned down long enough for my teammates to finish off. That's one of Maokai's just greatest, most annoying abilities. The ability to CC lock someone for a long time thanks to 2 relatively low cooldown abilities. I mean, he does have some mana issues even with the changes, but those issues get rectified rather quickly, so they're not that strenuous. Anyways, here Yasuo gets killed, Shyvana pops in and just starts wrecking face. Pantheon dies, I go right in, it's a CC log the Leona, drag her in, just kind of keep her in place in that circle and let my teammates finish her off while I try to get close enough to grab somebody else. I hit a trap, so obviously I can't keep chasing, but there you go, you see how Maokai's W works. Either way, Maokai is really strong versus teams, well, I already said, have champions that like to all-in, guys. He provides a lot of crowd control with his Q. He's great versus AoE team comps, especially magic team comps, as you can just group it up with an Aegis or the Iron Solari and your ultimate, and you just nullify a bunch of damage. So yeah, he's a great pick versus other things, but he's more situational than he used to be. He's kind of just outdone by Vi currently. But still, hooray for Maokai.